Hey guys, it's Alexis. I wanted to share my story, my labor and delivery story, because it was very different. I actually had to cross a border and I didn't get to have my baby's father there or family or anybody. But before I start off with that, I wanted to let you guys know that this is my first YouTube channel. Yay! I am a stay-at-home mom and I just really needed something to keep me busy. I love spending time with my sweet angel. He's right here watching me because he didn't want to go back to sleep. So I have a little audience. I enjoy being with him and I'm very thankful I get to be home with him. But mama needs a hobby. I was looking into sewing. Yeah, I can't do that. I was looking into crocheting. I can't do that. I'm good. Talking will probably help me because when hubby gets home, I don't have to talk to him all day. I just let so much out to him. And so that's why I wanted to make a YouTube channel. I feel like it'll be cool because you guys get to see what it's like being in Mexico, because that's where I live and it's very different. I'm from California and it was a huge transition, but a few years later I am good. I feel like I know it and it's awesome. So I like to share all my experiences, show you guys around a little bit, but for this video I'm just going to tell you guys about my labor. So while I was pregnant, I did cross the border to my doctor's appointments and it wasn't that bad. I drove myself, and when you're, huge, big, you're like, oh, okay. I was barely able to it was very uncomfortable. But when it came to my labor, I remember everything. My son is 4 months old and I remember everything like it is yesterday still. I don't think I'll ever forget it. I don't think any mother could forget about their labor because it's crazy. My plan was not to get epidural. I didn't want no meds. I want to do it all natural. I could do it. I'm strong. I could take pain. Yeah, I don't know about all that when it came down to it. What I did was I had a doctor's appointment the next day, so it was Monday night, and I was having some back pain. My back was hurting, but my back always hurts, so I just figured it's just normal. It's just hurting more tonight. My lower back is killing me. So I go lay down and it just kept hurting. So I did some squats the night before, and I thought maybe, maybe because I worked out, maybe that I'm just sore or something in my back. So I just went with it and I lay down, and I was telling the hubby, I was like, if my doctor says that I'm still barely dilating at 1, barely at 1, then I am definitely getting the castor oil. And I was looking all up on YouTube on it that night. I just remember he was knocked out. He gets up really early for work. So I was just up, and when you're super pregnant, you can't sleep. So I was up on YouTube, and then I remember exactly 12 o'clock, exactly at midnight, I started feeling this pain, and I'm like, what's going on? Okay, is this gonna be another night where I'm having these contractions, because I would normally get up, walk around, whatever. I even walked up and down stairs. I would do anything when I'm feeling like that because I wanted my baby out. I wanted him here. So like always, I get up out of bed, I roll off because I'm too big, it hurts. Hurts to get up, and so I roll off the bed. I go to our other room that we have, and I start bouncing up because on the extra bed that we have in our guest room, it's more better to bounce on, and because hubby's asleep, I respect him a lot when he's sleeping. So I go to that bed and I start bouncing up and down. I'm like, okay. But it's funny because I didn't feel it in my stomach. It was all my lower back. And I'm just like, okay, I'm having these back pains. I shouldn't have did those squats. So after that, I got into the shower because I heard that you're supposed to get into some hot water and just stay there because supposedly that's supposed to help too. I don't know. But after bouncing on my bed for 30 minutes. I got into the shower, and I was just standing there like, oh, my back. I was like, man, it's not going away. Like, okay, it's been an hour already, and my back is still hurting. I stayed in that shower for like 20 minutes. And when you live in Mexico and you have a boiler, like, that took up a lot of my boiler. But anyways, so I get out, and I walk downstairs, and as I'm walking, and I still have just my towel on, so I grab my phone, I walk downstairs, and I'm just like, oh man, okay, I think it's time. I had, oh, excuse you. Oh, okay. Oh. I had this whole plan. I had a lot of people to call. The main person that was going to be taking me, she had also a list of people to call to drive us. She was supposed to be in the back seat with me, and they were supposed to have a driver. So I call her up, and I'm like, hey, you know, I'm not really, it's about 1 in the morning, like a little tiny bit after 1. And I'm like, hey, you know, my back's hurting. I don't know what to do. So she's just like, okay. She tried to tell me some things to do, and I'm doing it. And then it's coming and going. So she was actually counting the minutes between my contractions, because honestly, I wouldn't have been able to do that. Or, I don't know, I just didn't do that when I should have. But, so I'm doing the exercises, and I'm right there like, oh, and she told me to get on my knees and get on my hands and just go, oh, you know? And I was like, oh, she was like, okay, it's okay. And I was like, it's my back, ow, it's my back. I don't know why it's my back. And then after that, she's like, okay, do you want me to come and get you? And I'm like, I don't want you to come for nothing. You know, I was between a contraction. So I was like, I don't want you to come for nothing. I don't want you to have to get up and come. It's the middle of the night, you know. And then the next contraction hit, and I was like, oh, come. I want you to come right now. She was like, okay, just breathe. Tell your hubby that we're coming. Get your stuff ready, and I'm going to come. And I was like, okay. And then, so, you know, I went upstairs, and between contractions, I felt like I was okay. I felt like normal, like, hey, you know, like, I don't feel like I even felt any pain the minute before, or a few seconds. But then once that contraction hit, and it was coming, it was like 3 to 5 minutes coming, and it was coming harder and harder, and it was my back. And back pain is like no joke. I really hate back pain. I really wish I could have felt it in my stomach. So I go upstairs, and I wake him up. I'm like, I'm in labor. I think I am, but they're gonna come and pick me up, okay? And he's just like, huh? He's a heavy sleeper. Like, he cannot wake up for nothing. He's such a heavy sleeper. And he had to get up like in, like, you know, 4 hours or something. So I was just like getting my stuff quietly, like actually like letting him like sleep, whatever. And I was like, do you want to come downstairs? Or and he's like, yeah. So he comes downstairs. He gets my bags, and we come down here, and we had a blanket right here actually on our couch, and because I used to come down a lot when I was pregnant, and I was just like curled up on the couch because it was very hard to sleep in the bed. So he came down here, he got the blanket, and he actually went to sleep right here. And I sat right here at the edge of the couch, and then I was just like breathing, and then 1 second I'm like, okay, is this real? Is this for really gonna happen? Like, oh my gosh, really? And then the next minute I'm like, oh, it's real, Alexis, it's real, you're in labor, the baby's coming. And then I was so like bipolar. I ended up like going on the floor, and then I was like, oh, like so dramatic. And he will wake up, he will be like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, just go to sleep, because he had to go to work. So I didn't want to like, I don't know, just a part of me didn't like, he couldn't go with me anyways, you know, he can't go across. So I didn't want to like, I just felt bad, you know. So I just kept doing it, whatever. And he was like, are you okay? Are you sure? Whatever. And I was like, yeah, I'm good. And then he went to go put the car seat and the backpack, everything ready in the car in case we were taking my car. And then, and so he went to go do all that. And then our ride comes, and I guess it turned out that we weren't going to take my car. She got a ride. And she got a ride from one of the people on the list, and it was funny because the lady who was driving, she was on her way to meet up with the lady that, you know, my emergency lady. She was on the way to go pick her up, and she gets pulled over by the policia. And let me tell you, the policia here, like, they see you and they know you're American or whatever, they will try to take your money from you. They don't play. They don't get paid much, so, you know, they try to take her money, whatever. They tell her that I need some money. She's like, I don't have any money. My friend's in labor. I need to go get her, whatever. So I don't even know how. I don't know if she showed him that she didn't have money, you know, like, we're smart over here after we've been through it a lot. We take money out of the wallet in case this happens. And I don't know what she did, but she didn't end up having to pay, thank God, because I don't know. But so she ended up getting the other girl, and then they came, and then she had a van, so it was very comfortable. So we go in there, and I tell hubby, okay, I'll call you when I get there. Go get some rest, you know, maybe it ain't serious. I think for him, I don't know if it's a guy thing, but it takes him a little while to understand what's really going on. Like, I don't think he really understood that I was in labor, which of course I didn't either. Like, I was very nervous about having to cross the border, having to call these people up, wake them up in the middle of the night, and then have them cross me just to bring me back. You know what I'm saying? So I was like really iffy too. So we're in the car and we're going, and she's beating me queen. She was going, like, she was like in her little van too. It was cool. And so we're going, and my friend in the back seat is with me, and she's like, she has a few kids. She's actually pregnant right now, due in February, but she has a few kids. So she's been down this road. She also even crossed before while in labor. So she actually knew what she was doing, I found. So she made me feel very comfortable, and she helped me through the breathing. She was calculating the minutes between contractions. She was like, oh yeah, they're coming. And, you know, I was like, can you stop somewhere, because I need to change my pesos to dollars. And I was like worried about that stuff, like that nonsense. But I was like, I really wanted McDonald's on my way to the hospital. That was my plan. Like, I really wanted McDonald's. I don't know why, but when I was pregnant, every time I crossed for a doctor's appointment, I always wanted McDonald's. And I knew that when I was in labor, I would want McDonald's. So I was like, I need pesos to dollars. I need McDonald's. I want a hamburger and fries. And the lady driving, she's like, no, girl, you are in labor. We don't know how long we have. And then my friend is like, your contractions are really close. And they're like, no, girl, we need to get you there. We are not having this baby in the car. And I was like, oh, you're right. Okay, give me that. So we go, and we go through, at the border, there's these lanes. It's regular lane for all traffic, which is like if you have your birth certificate or whatever. And then there's the ready lane if you have the ready card. It's like a faster lane, or if you have your passport. And then there's the Century lane where you pay and you go through this whole thing, and, you know, so we go through the Century lane because this is considered an emergency. So, you know, we would have to go to the secondary where they check the car, but we wouldn't get in trouble for going through that lane. So we get there, and the lanes are packed, the regular lane and the ready lane, because it's now about 2:30, almost 3 maybe. It's like, and it's packed, and people are like going to work, and people park there actually to cross early. It's a big old thing. The border is a whole nother story. But so we get there, and there's like these cones separating the ready lane and the Century lane. So then we see like this border patrol right there, and the lady driving, she's like, hey. She's like, my friend's in labor right now. Can we cut? You know, she's from like, I think like Louisiana. I think she has this beautiful accent. Can we cut through there? Like, so he's like, oh yeah. So he actually, in border patrol, is not always like that, especially at San Ysidro. So we got very lucky. We got lucky. So he lets us go through and cut, and we go through the ready lane instead of the Century. So they ask for our passports. So we give them our passports. We don't have to go through secondary or nothing. They tell them, hey, she's in labor. We got to get to the hospital. The only question they say is, do you want an ambulance? And then they all look at me. I'm like, no, I think I'm fine. You know, I have Speedy McQueen with me. I don't need no ambulance. She'll probably get me there faster. So so then they just let us go and everything was fine. It was very smooth. And that was something that me and my family were very worried about, family from back home, because Border Patrol, the border is always iffy, you know? You don't know when you're gonna cross either. So we crossed and there she goes, like 100 miles per hour. She's trying to get there. She is not playing. Thank you. I love you for that, girl. She was cool. And I'm just back there like having these contractions, like, oh, I felt like I was doing good though. I was like breathing. I'm good. I got this. In my head, I'm like, you got this. You got this. You can do it. You know, you don't need an epidural, girl. You got this. And so I get to the hospital and they take me back and they check me, right? They take me to the first room. They check me and see what's going on. Wow, I was dilated at like 3, but I think it was 3, but I had high blood pressure. And I don't know if I had high blood pressure because I just crossed the border or because, you know, it takes us like an hour from my house there. I don't know what it was, but I had high blood pressure. It was kind of scary, you know, but it is what it is. They kept me for it. So they kept me. I was in there and I'm just looking around. I'm like, so does that mean I'm having the baby today? And my friend's like, you're not leaving this hospital without your baby, girl. And I said, what? Oh my gosh, like I just felt this big old thing. So then we go, they take me to my room, whatever, and I'm like, this is where I'm having my baby. I was so excited because they have the little thing for when you have the baby and they put him in. Oh, I was so happy. It was very exciting. So they gave me some medicine for my blood pressure and I'm laying there in bed. And my back is killing me. My back is killing me. So like at 6:30, they come in. The doctor checks me, and I believe I was like, I don't know, 5. I was dilated at 5 or something. But they broke my water, and I start crying, and I'm crying. And then everybody in the room, the nurse, the doctor, my friends, they all looked at me and they're like, "Why are you crying? Are you okay? And is it the contractions?" I was like, I'm so happy. You broke my water. I'm so happy. I can have my baby. And then they just started laughing. They're like, oh, we never seen that type of reaction for water breaking. I was like, what? I'm so happy. Oh, I was so excited. So, because I knew that when your water breaks, you get like, you know, you're like a huge step closer to having your baby. So yeah, so after that, they said the contractions were gonna come like hard, and let me tell you, those they hit me. It's like it was a whole different experience after that. Like my back was killing me, and they said, "Do you want epidural?" I said, "No, I think I'm good. I'm good." I felt tough. I felt like I was doing good, and my friend was like, "You are doing great," you know. She was like pumping me up kind of, and then. Man, oh man, after that, my contractions were terrible. I ended up, and my friend's like, if you want epidural, it is okay. It's not what you planned, but things don't always go as planned when you're having a baby, you know? And this was back labor. It was all back labor. I felt nothing in my stomach. It was all in my lower back. And I was like, okay, give me the epidural now. And then after that, I was like, whoo, it was terrible. So then finally the doctor comes, put the shot in, and after that, I was good. I was just chilling. I was like, cool, you know, like, I was like, I think I could have another kid after this. It was awesome. I was able to get some sleep. I felt so relaxed, and I had this special little button to push every 15 minutes. So we had an alarm, and if I fell asleep, my friend would go and push it for me so I don't have to feel nothing. It was awesome. So then, I believe maybe around 2:30, they come and check me, and I was like, I was shaking. Like I was trying to take a nap, but I was shaking. My whole body was just Like, and I thought I was cold. So I was like, cover me, I can't, it's so cold, cover me, I can't stop shaking. So she kept covering me. And then when the doctor came in, they checked me. I guess I had like a temperature, and my blood pressure was high again. And so they're like, okay. And on top of that, the baby's head was right there. So it was time for me to start pushing, and they couldn't do it until I got the medicine. So they came and gave me some medicine for my a fever, and then they gave me some more medicine for my blood pressure, and they took all the blankets off me and said, like, it's not because you're cold, it's your body is basically going into shock because it's ready to push, like your baby's about to come out. And I was like, okay, you know. So then when all of that was done, the doctor comes and she's like, okay, are you ready? And I said yes. And I was like, she's like, okay, be prepared to see your son in about an hour or more. And I was like, an hour? Why the head's right there, why would you say a whole hour? And she was like, because you're a first-time mom and you have the epidural, so I mean, that's why you don't really know how to push. And then I was just like, oh, okay, a whole hour of pushing? Like, the thought of that was like, that's crazy. So, oh, what's the matter? So I start pushing, whatever, and they recorded it. My hubby was on FaceTime, and everything was good, you know. I was ready, I was set, I was pushing, and she told me to push. Oh, okay. So she had told me to push, and without having to like scream, like, ooh. I was like, okay, like, okay, that's hard. So I'm pushing and whatnot, and then the baby, he just came right out, and it was like fast. He came out in literally 7 minutes exact, because the video was like 10 minutes. So 7 minutes. And the thought of my hubby having to be on FaceTime for a whole hour, like, that's crazy. So thank God it was only for, you know, it was a 10-minute video. It was very, I don't want to say easy, because like I had this pain right here like the whole time, and I don't know, it wasn't that easy. But he came out and we were good, and he was the most beautiful baby I've ever seen. I was very excited. Everything was good after that. I think I even asked the doctor, is there another one in there? Like, why was she still down there? But, you know, they have things to do. And after that, the baby, they had to check him because I had a fever while I was in labor. So, but he came out good. I was in the hospital for about 3 days, I believe, because my blood pressure kept going, like, up at night for some reason. And then, I don't know, it was all over the place. So I had to be kept in. He stayed with me, and I was finally good. I was ready to come home. Came home, and 4 months later, this is the handsome boy right here. And so that's my experience. It was very hard, very all over the place, I feel, but I will do it all over again for my son. It wasn't dangerous. Everything was legal, 100% legal, okay? I know it could be like a hot topic because of what's going on with Trump and the border and the wall, whatever. I don't know. But I don't care. That's what I had to do, and that's what I did. I want my son to be with his dad after he was born. I didn't want to have to wait a month. That's what I would have done if I went to where I'm from and had the baby, but he was able to come home with his daddy. So thank you guys for watching, and if you guys have any crazy labor stories or pregnant stories, I don't know, like if anything was crazy while you had your little one, please comment, let me know, because I'm all for the crazy stories. It's very interesting, or you know. So thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, whatever you guys want. Thank you so much. Say bye, handsome boy. Say bye. Over here.